In this instance, we are asked to find all the numbers for which this rational expression is undefined. Is undefined. Now remember, a rational number is undefined when I have it divided by 0. This is verboten. This is not allowed. Dividing by 0 causes the universe to implode. This is undefined. So what we want to look for specifically is at any point where this rational expression will have a 0 in the denominator. So to that end, do we really care anything at all about the numerator? No, we don't. Not at this point. Later on we will, and we will learn how to factor that for various reasons. But for now, all we care about is when does the denominator equal 0. So to find that, what we'll do is we'll set the denominator equal to 0. Let's say t squared minus 3t minus 28. When does that equal 0? And we've done this before. We've done this by factoring. So now that you're done with your factoring quiz, I'm going to show you a quick and easy, quick and dirty way to do it. What I want to look for are factors of negative 28 that combine to be a negative 3. I've got, well, I know it's going to be 4 and 7. That one's a negative, opposite signs, and yes, negative 7 plus 4 is a negative 3. Well then, that'll be a t plus 4 and a t minus 7 will be equal to 0. So we're not quite done yet because we haven't found where, if I substitute a number in, when will it become 0. So to do that, I set each one of these equal to 0, because remember, this is the principle of zero products, or t minus 7 equals 0. And that principle of zero products tells us that if I have two factors that multiply to 0, then one of the two factors must be 0. So in this case, t is equal to negative 4, or t is equal to 7. Now let's see what happens if I put that in. Let's see if I substitute in a negative 4 for t. I will get negative 4 quantity squared minus 3 times negative 4 minus 28. That'll be 16 plus 12 minus 28, or 28 minus 28, which is indeed 0. So that's bad. We don't want t to be negative 4. Let's try 7. Let's see what happens when I do that. That'll be 7 squared minus 3 times 7 minus 28, or 49 minus 21 minus 28, or 28 again minus 28, and that's again 0. So we know that we did our factoring correctly, and we correctly set our equation equal to 0, each part equal to 0, each factor, and that we know our domain restrictions. So now how do I state the domain? Well, to do that, we need to use our interval notation. And notice that my t can be any number on a number line before negative 4, but not negative 4. And then it can be any number on the number line between negative 4 and 7, but not 7. And then again, any number after. So if I go from negative infinity to a number, and then I have this gap in between there that I can use before I start heading out toward positive infinity, then I have 3 different intervals. I have an interval that goes from negative infinity, and we always use the rounded parentheses around infinity. It goes from negative infinity to negative 4, and we're going to union that with negative 4 to 7, and we're going to union that with 7 to positive infinity. So that's how we use factoring to find where our rational expression is undefined, and then we will use that information to state the domain. This is the domain of the rational expression.